There's a lot going on in the world. We're going to be covering all the fucking no endorsement, negative endorsement, all this shit. You know, all the stuff that's happening. Fuck, man. Another major paper doesn't endorse Harris because a billionaire said so. 11 days out. It's merch day at ideology.shop. Ben Shabibo. It's owned on Jubilee and more. Get in now. You didn't do personal news? Yeah, I didn't because I was talking about the fucking merchandise. Do we have a good blast off meme, ladies and gentlemen, or should I just fucking you know what, I'm gonna just post like merch shit. I'm just gonna post merch shit. Fuck it, YOLO. Yeah. Sam Cedar on Have I Got News for You? Wait, what? Shout out, please shout out Pinoy Gang. Always, dude, always and forever. Shouts out to Pinoy Gang. You know I got much love for y'all. Always and forever, Pinoy Gang. Okay, hold up. I assume it means like hello or something, but thank you. Anyway, where the fuck was I? What was I gonna talk about? God damn it. It means thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I watched Don the Don last night. She was fire as always. Fantastic. It's so good, but also at the same time, it's like, where are all the other good shows? You know what I mean? Like, there's not really anything else going on. Don't watch New Yakuza is terrible. Yeah, I probably won't be doing that. I love the intro and the outro song in that fucking. It is. I think Don Da Don has my favorite intro and favorite outro song of all time. Here, we're blasting off. You already know what it is. We're blasting the freak off. Let's go. Another major paper doesn't endorse Harris because a billionaire said so. 11 days out. It's merch day at ideology.shop. Ben Shabibo gets owned on Jubilee and more. Get in now. Twitch.tv/Hasanabi. I also posted on my Instagram as well. Go show that some love. Pretty wild disclosure to the Turbo Granny saga, but what happens next to Okarun? Does he get to keep the curse? I suspect he has to, right? Otherwise, you know, I don't know what will happen. I actually have no idea. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know, but it seems sick. Anyway, Chainsaw Man, I've seen all of it. I've seen all the animes, man. There's no more animes to be seen. Okay, trust me. By the way, Ritchie Torres' 15th is the only congressional district in America where the poverty rate is above 30%. It's at 36.2%. Yeah, he has the poorest district in the United States of America. And that's precisely the reason why his fucking cheap ass is literally completely single-handedly a single issue motherfucker. Okay? He's a single issue motherfucker. He just only talks about Israel. He's like a tag dog for Israel. He's such a piece of shit, dude. I hate that guy. He's washed. He's got no juice. He's got no sauce. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. But yeah, I digress. Fuck Ritchie Torres. You can suck my dick. Dog shit. Do right by your fucking constituents, you piece of shit. $1.4 million from fucking pro-Israeli groups since the beginning of your career in the fucking 90s. Like, that's crazy. Anyway, where was I? Oh, here. Let's get started. So I posted this morning. You know, a little light day, light basketball day. You already know, personal news-wise. Looking a little yak, not a big deal to me. This shit is nothing to me, you know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal at all. Fuck it. Close to getting a dunk in there, failed, but doesn't really matter. Who cares? But anyway, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Boom. Oh, merchandise out today. Make it look better, make it feel better, make it feel cooler. Get it there. That's right. You know what I need to learn? I need to learn how to do like a sexy take your shirt off thing. Like, you know how like sexy guys take their shirts off by like grabbing it from the bottom and then just like taking it off like that? Like, cause I'm a fat kid, so I never fucking learned how to do the sexy shirt off. Like, I don't know how people do that. Cross your arms. Yeah, I don't know how to do that because I'm like I grew up fat. I need to practice. Women take their shirts off like that. Yeah, and sexy guys. Women are like sexy guys, you know? Another banger take at the Hasanabi broadcast. Hassan, you shoot like my favorite player, Mikal Bridges. Shut the fuck up. I do not shoot like him, bro. Come on. Look at this shot. You are actually so disrespectful when you say that. You are actually so disrespectful when you say that, because like, it's not true. Like, this is a much better shot than his. Okay? His shot is actually like, that form is decent. My form is, it could be better. It could be better for sure. It could be better for sure. But like, having said that, like, his shot's like genuinely bad, you know? You'll never guess what character Hassan is. I made an AI video of streamers as superheroes featuring Aiden Ross, I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, and more. Okay, so what am I? Okay, that's a little racially motivated, don't you think? Yeah, AI videos like this suck. Oh, okay. Keizo is Thor. Okay. Green Lantern. You can see Spider-Man. I don't even know who Phantom is supposed to be. Is this like is that Captain America's like second in command guy? Wait, that's not even okay. We're no longer doing Marvel now. We're doing DC and Marvel. Okay. Okay. AI is so disgusting. All my homies hate AI. Wait, they made me Captain America? That's wild. What the fuck? They made me Captain America? That's funny. Hey, yo, that's funny. Also, I look way more ethnic here than I ever have. I mean, I'll take it. I'm the only true patriot. Let's go. America deserve Ultron. That's Islamophobic, Lamont. Hey, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Y'all are fucking crazy. All right. Not a single thought behind AI Hassan's eyes. Yeah, okay. First of all, it's fucking AI. It's dog shit. Like, what are you talking about? It's just AI sucks. It sucks so fucking bad. It's never any... There's just something off about it, and I don't know what it is. There's something off about it. There's something off about AI. It's like so heartless, so soulless that like when I look at it, it creeps me out. But it might just be me. I don't know. Maybe other people also kind of feel what I'm talking about. But like, straight up, when I see AI art, I'm like, there is just something very not human. Don't give them more advice, bro, please. Yo, is Trump actually streaming rally on Twitch? What do you mean? He does it every day. How are you guys surprised by this? Yes, Kamala Harris also does it. Going to the gym because Hassan said he would, if he were would be with a gay man, it would be with a big mask,
Buddy,
dude.
please go fuck me. Go fuck me, I'm horny.
That's funny. Yeah. Get everybody swole, dude. My goal is to get every single person swole as fuck. I want everybody to get into the gym, and I want everyone, every Hasanabi head to be the most yak they can fucking be. So, you know, whatever avenue gets you there, I'm happy with that. Okay. I'm with it. I'm freaking with it, baby. Is there enough juice for that? I don't know. I don't really care. You don't have to get juiced up. You don't have to do that. You can just do it through the normal process of just like, creatine is good enough, you know? Peep this highlight from Dean's stream of a brain broken hog. Yeah, I have it here. Don't worry. I will. Okay. I'm literally working out because you inspire me. I'm down 60 pounds. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah, I'm a skinny mini myself at this point. Y'all might not know this, but I'm 225 pounds as of today, so it's like not a big deal. What are the thicker knee braces that you use when you work out? I don't know. They're just called knee braces. I podcast your stream during my workouts, pumping up that knowledge, getting me a pump. Good shit. I literally did it by working out 20 minutes per day at lunch at home. There are no excuses. Yeah. So, what? A caricature of you is in the new IDW comic, The Exorcism at 1600 pen. Yeah, I saw this. Wait, what do you mean an IDW comic, by the way? Like intellectual dark web comic? God, please don't judge me for doom scrolling, for the doom scrolling that I'm about to do. Global warming hoax, fatal flaw. Come on, cut POTUS some slack. JK, boot the bitch. Doyle is the literal antichrist. And then this is straight up me. Oh, IDW is a publisher. Okay, IDW is the publisher. Okay, yeah, but this is me. I know. Up, chat. Hurry in and buckle up. We got Senator Barron's press conference about to start. I'm hearing it's a bombshell. Oh, shit, it's starting. We out about to get gerb. Y'all are scared of women. This chat's spicier than Taco Bell. Florida. Someone just said Florida. Okay, cool, but show us. I think it says like show us the dog. And there's even the fucking mini fridge and everything. It's so cool. I speak to you today with a heavy heart. One of our nation's sons and a defender of our freedom has tragically taken his life. President Doyle doesn't want to talk about Havana syndrome. Oh, no, my bad. It says Florida representing, not just Florida. Who made this? I don't know. I don't know who made it, but it is very, it is definitely the genuine thing, you know? Genuine thing. About to have the stream on while I drive to Mississippi, bringing some blue into the red. Nice. Quick question. Would a merch sale or give to subs give you more money? I don't care. Like, gift to subs are great because it causes chatters to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour, which I'm not running right now because we're just started the broadcast. But merch, if you want to buy the merch is for you. Merch is available. Yes, it is out and about, and it's here. Ideology.shop. Bro buys everything online. When's the last time you walked into a store and did it analog? Anytime I want to buy Zins. Anytime I want to buy Zinnies, that's I have to walk into a store and cop it. Everything else I do buy online. You're right. Groceries I shop online. Clothing I shop online. Nearly a dozen tanker planes and 20 F-16s headed to MENA per CENTCOM. Yeah, it's happening. I like that we are literally 11 days out. 11 days out from the election, and they're like, all right, time to fucking bomb Iran, dude. Nice. Great shit. Just in time, baby. Just in freaking time. Did the merch get fixed? Yeah. The price of your merch is great, by the way. No glaze. I don't know how you manage that. Yeah, it's called having fucking virtually no profit margin. That's how you do it. Bought the shirt you're wearing and the Sick of the Ones in Power shirt. Nice. What is this? Peep this insane report from Con News after your stream last night. A group of Israelis who set up near Camp Kibbutz Eretz oh yeah, they broke in. The settlers broke in. Biden is only doing it because of this. Yeah, dude. Trump said he would pardon Hunter Biden, and then Joseph Robinette Brandon was like, "It's time, Jack. We're gonna fucking pummel Iran." Let me tell you something. I'm in the tank for my boy. I don't want no woman being in a presidential role. You can't have no woman running the country. Not a joke. By God, I'll do everything I can to make sure that Kamala Harris loses this election. Yeah, Kamala Harris about to go out. Kamala Harris about to go out and be like, I'm going to prosecute every transnational gang over and over and over again. She's going to prosecute transnational gangs her way into the fucking White House, hopefully. One day. Pay your respects. He's getting E. coli. Yeah. One can wish. New Trump ad appeals to old Jewish ladies who vote Democrat, urging them to switch sides on the basis of their deep-seated anti-Palestinian racism. That's awesome. Dude, what? Merch always sells out fast as hell. Why is the merch always released in trickling low stock drops? Brother, they pre-make the merch so you can get it fast. And it's not like a little amount. There's like a shit ton of people that want it. Also, we're not doing customer service here. You can take it up with Warren James. Sometimes if there's like a lot of demand for certain shirts, we usually will turn around and bring it back, but it won't be like pre-stock. So it'll take a long time to get to you. Like it'll take like a month to get to you usually. But like I said, it's not the customer service line. Okay. I work with a fucking whole ass company called Warren James for that reason. Anyway. Yeah, I did see the Volkswagen Scout. That shit looks mint. It looks dope. Problem is it's not coming out for a couple of years. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it looks amazing. Why is everything so oversized? What do you mean? This is a large shirt. Like it is not oversized at all. It is the normal size. It's the basic size. It's just the Rivian Lamau. I know it does look a lot like Rivian, but it looks a little bit cooler than a Rivian, in my opinion. Anyway, let's get started. Let's do it. Let's do the dang thing. Okay, let's do the dang thing. Hello, Mr. Piker. As a German policy student who talks to zero Americans, it feels like Kamala is inevitably heading for the defeat. Is it really just a lack of understanding in the DNC or something more nefarious that's causing them to lean so far to the right? Everywhere. This is happening everywhere. German poli-sci friend is happening in your country as well. You got the AFD. But to be fair, you've always had you've had a relatively like center-right leadership in Germany for quite some time. Democrats, I would bracket in a similar vein. Like they're also kind of center-right. In terms of leadership on economic policy, Democrats are more to the right than like most European left parties or liberal. They resemble European liberal parties. So for that reason, what is happening in the entire Western European subcontinent and the United States of America is the same. Fascism is on the rise. Austerity and social safety nets are down. That creates economic instability, that creates volatility, that creates resentment. America also does its very best to destabilize entire regions of the planet. And then people, of course, inevitably leave those places to come to places like Europe. And then right-wing fascists will point to those people coming here or going there to say, this is why your shit sucks. While simultaneously, the reason why you feel like your shit sucks or the reason why your public utilities are no longer working in the way that they used to isn't because of the Muslim refugees that came into your country. It's actually because there was austerity measures implemented by right-wingers in your nation with a deliberate way to underfund. They want to underfund those fucking institutions so that they can inevitably destroy them and then privatize them, make an argument to privatize them, which destroys them even further. So that's how you arrive at fascism. I've been saying this for the past 10 years, like literally non-fucking stop every single day. This is one of the things that I have been so consistent on, talking all the way back from Sweden and their anti-Muslim sentiment rising in Sweden and how they were made to be the red herring in Sweden. All this shit, it's basically the same everywhere. It's basically the same everywhere in Western Europe and also in the United States of America and in Canada as well. Not a good path. Not a good path for any of these nations. Very scary stuff is occurring all around us, okay? Do you think Dems are still in a better position than before the Biden switch or in the same one, even worse one? No, they're in definitely a better position than the Biden switch. What do you mean? Kamala Harris made up like 8 points, guys. What are we talking about? Like over the course of a week, she shot up. It's a significantly better position, especially because there's a likelihood that she could still win. There was no likelihood that Biden was winning that fucking election, okay? So that's something to consider. That's definitely something you have to consider. The New York Times CNN poll finds Harris and Trump tied nationally at 48-48. Since the last poll, Trump has gained 2 points. Harris has lost 1. That's bad news. But note this for the final stretch. 15% are still not fully decided, and Harris leads with them. Yeah, good stuff. So Harris has made up a decent amount on like the economy question, which is surprising enough because a lot of resentment exists for the current administration in terms of the economy, and people just kind of like say it. But I think Donald Trump regularly talking about like trans people or nuclear warming or I don't know, how he wants to kill every person that's like kind of brown is causing people to be like, okay, well, at least she's saying stuff about the economy. You know what I mean? I'm not even kidding when I say this. Trump is so fucking bad. Obviously, Kamala Harris is bad too. But goddamn, Trump is so bad. The only thing he has on the economy is tariffs. And even the dumbest guy kind of understands, like, wait a minute, tariffs, like, doesn't that make everything more expensive? It's like, how are you fucking this up, dude? This is literally like every single thing that hurts Donald Trump. Every single thing that hurts Donald Trump is Donald Trump's own fault. Okay? There's no thing that the Democrats did so well that people are like very excited to vote for them. It's all Donald Trump. It's January 6th. Donald Trump did that. Roe v. Wade. Obviously, Donald Trump wouldn't have liked to do that, but it happened because of him, and he has to take ownership over it because of the evangelical base anyway. If given the opportunity, if you ask Donald Trump, like, would you fucking ban abortion? He'd be like, no fucking shot, right? That's another Donald Trump issue. Those two issues are the only primary drivers for the Democratic base right now. Okay? That's it. He did that. He did both of those things. And then also on top of that, so can I come provide you my takes on the election, early vote in PA, etc.? I mean, I personally purchased polling in PA and understand how LV screens work, etc. Yes, Michael from Pennsylvania. I want to hear your Kamala Harris's cooked takes. I don't think Kamala Harris is as cooked. Like, polls are showing alarming signs. Momentum is not in her favor, but we shall see. Okay. I have maintained the position that I still think Kamala Harris has a likelihood of winning, even though that likelihood has gone down dramatically over the course of the past couple of months. Like every time she came out with a bold declarative agenda, it was always some dumb shit. And every time she had like a highlight, every time she had a fucking highlight, it was actually a low light. It sucked. So, you know, we'll do that in a little bit. But I see it. Like I look at the environment. I look at what's going on. I recognize that Donald Trump actually has a very limited avenue of victory here. What? Is that your audio or did you went what? I'm not so certain of Kamala Harris's electoral defeat still, but things are definitely not looking great for her. They're not. They have not. Branson says he wants the hoop in LA. I told him you'd cook him. He needs to be humbled. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to let it fucking rip. Yeah, like a lot of fellow leftists were also like Joe Brandon is cooked and he still won by a little. I don't know. Like, what do you mean by that? Joe Brandon was doing well in the fucking polls. Anyway, it's a cook-off, but both candidates are in the oven too long. Yeah, both candidates suck. Anyway, it can go in either direction. We got a lot to cover here. We got a lot to get to. Like I said, ideology.shop. You got it. Why? New collection. Get it before it fucking sells out, okay? I don't want to hear anybody complaining about how this shit sold out too quick. Yada, 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 okay? Did you see the TikTok chef cooking for IDF? Yeah, I did. Hold on. Cutie asked agent to make her famous like Cinna.
I ask you, she said that you made her famous by making a clip where she said a word and she told me to ask you to do the same thing so I can do it.
Okay, let's get you to say nigga.
Oh, I will not.
You get really famous overnight.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a word. What is this? This is liberal Spider-Man cooking and fucking Trump supporters on his TikTok.
What reason? Like, do you have any evidence, any sources that Donald Trump had a personal, private, one-on-one conversation with Jesus Christ to save America?
Look it up on Google. Also, I just want to say you're.
Okay, dude, come on. All right, that's like, come on, man. That's like, I think that it's got to be fake, right? Like that's crazy. All right, WAPO, alongside with Los Angeles Times, has decided not to endorse a candidate. And by that, I mean, they've decided not to endorse Kamala Harris. This is now the second major newspaper that got the boss call. Another fucking billionaire made the boss call and was like, nope, you're not doing it. An endorsement of Harris had been drafted by Post editorial page staffers, but had yet to be published, according to the two sources briefed on the sequence of events who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly. The decision not to publish was made by the Post owner, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, according to the same sources. And now the WAPO editor has resigned. Scoop, Washington Post editor-at-large Robert Kagan confirms to me that he resigned from the Post following today's decision not to endorse in the presidential race. I want to say something here, okay? This is hollow, okay? First of all, fuck Jeff Bezos, even though he's my boss technically, okay? No disrespect, Jeff Bezos, but like, come on. That's number one. Number two, okay? Number two. These, like, what are we doing? What are we doing in this country where billionaires can just be like, a major distributed newspaper and its editorial team have no control over their own shit. Okay? That's crazy. Like, how does not a single person, how do you not look at this and go, what the fuck is happening? You got Elon Musk that owns Twitter and is using Twitter to make it a Stormfront, okay? You got fucking Jeff Bezos being like, nah, Washington Post, you can't endorse Kamala Harris. Like fuck Kamala Harris, okay? Not a fan. You guys know this. But how the fuck, like how is this a thing? How is nobody going, this seems kind of weird to me. Like, the editorial team cannot make this decision. A billionaire can make the fucking boss call like this. This shit pisses me off. Okay? What the hell? This is Gilded Age shit. This is straight up Gilded Age shit. Now, the third thing I want to say is that these guys in the editorial team are fucking cowards. Okay? Sorry. I know a lot of the wonderful journalists that work under your reign at the editorial team at Washington Post, Los Angeles Times as well. These guys only resign when the fucking boss call is made because you can't endorse Kamala Harris. That's time for resignation. You didn't have any issues whatsoever with the direction of the paper at all up until this moment. 12 months of genocide. I know for a fucking fact that the news teams and the editorial team is almost entirely at odds with the coverage on Israel. Like, almost always. Okay? Every single place you go, it's the same shit. Every single news outlet right now has the exact same problem. Your fucking journalists are like, bro, I'm seeing something and I want to write about it. This is insane. The editorial team is like, nah, it's fine. Don't write it. Or they're looking at it and they're going, let's massage this a little bit. Okay? Keep in mind that in 2020, when Bernie said that the Washington Post was biased against him, he got dragged through the mud. But I guess that wasn't a ridiculous proposition after all. Yeah, of course. Of course. LA Times union response. Comments are sad because the union saying don't cancel your sub and libs are saying no. Yeah, democracy dies in the darkness is pretty funny because, like, it is, okay? It is dying in the darkness. I guess we're in the darkness. Here's the last time Jeff Bezos tweeted. Our former president showed tremendous grace and courage under literal fire tonight. So thankful for his safety and so sad for the victims and their families. Jeff Bezos is the one guy that got duped by the Trump. The polls didn't even move except for one guy, Jeff Bezos. Also, this is the least shocking thing of all time. Jeff Bezos is a Silicon Valley tech bro. All of those Silicon Valley tech bros are so firmly committed to fucking Donald Trump right now. When I tell you this, I'm telling you, dude, they are so far up Donald Trump's asshole that they're peeking out of his fucking mouth. They got E. coli from the goddamn McDonald's fries that Donald Trump was cooking up. Okay? They are like this. They're firmly planted in his fucking butthole. They love his shit. They do. That's why Mark Zuckerberg, who got hit with the Dominican ray, was running around being like, yeah, actually, honestly, Donald Trump getting fucking shot and then putting his fist up in the air. Badass. Pretty badass, dude. That race fist was pretty badass. Like, shut the fuck up. These guys are all charlatans. They've all been like Ayn Randian libertarian dipshits from the jump. And now they're on board with Donald Trump. Anyway. As Silicon Valley tech bro can confirm, my Dominican boss has gone full Trump. No, Mark Zuckerberg is who I'm talking about when I say he got hit with the Dominican ray. Yeah. Everything is bad. Oligarchy in the USA, starting in the USA. No, it's starting is here. It's been here, man. When was it not here? There has not been a moment where oligarchy wasn't here. Okay. What do you mean starting? This is what I've been telling you for a long time. The issue is now it's getting to a level where it's like making people uncomfortable because people are recognizing it. Having said that, however, things are probably not going to change. And on top of that, a lot of people are going to start recognizing. A lot of people are going to start not necessarily recognizing it, but normalizing it. We just have this incredible tendency to look at like horrifying things that people warned us about in history books and just being like, it's fine. I got my jalapeno poppers. I'm good. That's where we're at right now. I mean, look at that. Man-made horrors beyond human cognition every single day coming out of what Israel is doing in Gaza and Lebanon. People are just like, all right, I got used to it. It is what it is, okay? You got billionaires being like, making boss calls to fucking major newspapers being like, no endorsement for Kamala Harris, okay? Can't do it. You have no editorial control. Don't you forget who butters your bread, okay? Don't you forget it. WAPO Guild response, they said they had the article drafted. We are deeply concerned that the Washington Post, an American news institution in the nation's capital, would make the decision to no longer endorse presidential candidates, especially a mere 11 days ahead of an immensely consequential election. The role of an editorial board is just to do this, to share opinions on the news impacting our society, culture, and endorse candidates to help guide readers. The message from our chief executive, Will Lewis, not from the editorial board itself, makes us concerned that management interfered with the work of our members in editorial. According to our own reporters and guild members, an endorsement for Harris was already drafted, and the decision to not publish was made by the Post owner, Jeff Bezos. We are already seeing cancellations from once loyal readers. This decision undercuts the work of our members at a time when we should be building our readers' trust, not losing it. Yeah, Jeff Bezos actually fucking made the boss call because he was like, I don't think you can endorse genocide. Okay, that's what he did. He made the boss call and was like, listen, I do not want you endorsing Kamala Harris because the current administration is doing a genocide in Gaza. I am with Jeff Bezos. Like, I'm with Hamas all the way. Jeff Bezos is a fucking PSL voter. He's in the tank. He's in the tank for PSL. Jeff Bezos would be like, I like Jill Stein, actually, because of her consistent support for the humanity of Palestinians. Yesterday, a liberal told me, I can see how you would think genocide comes with the package. I proceeded to tell her that genocide has been a part of the package since the beginning of capitalism. You think we'd learn by now? To which she just replied, that's just it. We can't learn. Shaking my head. It's not necessarily that we can't learn. It's just that, I don't know. The entire system is designed to get you to stop. The entire system is designed to get you to stop from thinking about these sorts of things. You'd go crazy, I think, if you were to constantly have to deal with like all of the awful shit that we do on a regular basis. International court prosecutor who charged Netanyahu faces sexual misconduct accusation. Oh my God, bro! Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. The previous one was a woman. So they just fucking wiretapped her and called her like a terrorist. And then they put sanctions on her individually. Then now the new one, they openly have been coming after. While the woman declined to comment to the Associated Press, people close to her say the initial reluctance was driven by the distrust in in-house watchdogs. She asked the body member states that oversee the ICC to launch an external probe. I mean, listen, who knows? Maybe it's real. Israel's own intelligence called this guy the most boring man to surveil ever in the past. Even before they clip Chimp you saying you're anti-Me Too calling you right now. Dude, it's not going to stop. They're going to fucking say this nonstop. Also, believe all women, and I can't believe I'm repeating this once again, does not mean women are incapable of lying physically. It means don't reflexively disbelieve women, which might come across like I am reflexively disbelieving this woman specifically in this investigation, even though I'm saying it could be valid. It could be legitimate. I will wait to find out. The one thing I do know, however, is that they've been trying to fucking get this guy for a minute. Okay? Biden has more accusations against him. Yeah. I welcomed a statement from the president of the Assembly of States Parties. It was with deep sadness that I understood reports of misconduct were to be aired publicly in relation to me. There is no truth to the suggestions of such misconduct. I worked in diverse contexts for 30 years, and there has never been such a complaint lodged against me by anyone. The independent oversight mechanism of the court is the body that oversees any matter that may justify investigations. If ever asked to do so, I would be willing to provide any information needed to the IOM. I have and would always encourage any victim of harassment to raise their voice and come forward with such accounts wherever they may occur. Where there are any type of reports of this nature, it is essential that they are thoroughly listened to, examined, and subject to the proper process. The use of a fair process is particularly essential in the context in which the ICC is currently operating, so as to protect the rights of all persons. This is a moment in which myself and the International Criminal Court are subject to a wide range of attack and threats. It has never been more important to the ICC, including myself as a prosecutor, is able to focus on its job to deliver justice to the victims of international crimes and demonstrate through our actions that all lives deserve the protection of international law. I will continue to make that effort to the best of my ability to deliver on the mandate. No matter what actions are taken against me, I will not be providing any further comment. Before any assholes get pissy, please clarify what you mean by they've been coming after him. Yeah, a lot of people are probably unfamiliar with how the International Criminal Court prosecutorial team works. But the previous International Criminal Court prosecutor that was setting up a case against Israel for years was a Gambian woman. And she was virtually hunted by Mossad, okay? Everywhere she went. wiretaps, phone taps. They literally were smearing her constantly and consistently, smearing her partner, smearing her family members. Then Benjamin Netanyahu went to the United States of America when Trump was president and got Donald Trump to literally put sanctions on her individually. Okay? They all of this, for the record, is straight up out in broad display. I've covered it extensively, as a matter of fact, if you want to see. From that AP article, court officials have said they may have been made as a part of an Israeli intelligence smear campaign. Yeah, there is a reason why people are, here, where is it? Yeah, a growing list of enemies. Under Khan, the ICC has become more assertive in combating crimes against humanity, war crimes, and related atrocities. Along the way, it has added to a growing list of enemies. Last September, following the opening of a probe into Russian atrocities in Ukraine, the court suffered a debilitating cyber attack that left staff unable to work for weeks. It also hired an intern who was later criminally charged in the U.S. with being a Russian spy. Israel's also been waging its own influence campaign ever since the ICC recognized Palestine as a member, and in 2015 opened a preliminary investigation into what the court referred to as the situation in the state of Palestine. London's The Guardian newspaper and several Israeli news outlets reported this summer, including Hasanabi Piker, for the record. I also covered these investigations. This was Local Call 972 magazine, 2 Israeli investigative reporting outlets, alongside, in partnership with The Guardian, that reported that Israel's intelligence agencies for the past decade have allegedly targeted senior ICC staff, including putting Khan's predecessor under surveillance and showing up at her house with envelopes stuffed with cash to discredit her. Netanyahu himself, in the days leading up to Khan's announcement of war crimes charges, called on the world democracies to use all the means at their disposal to block the court from what he called an outrage of historic proportions. The Israeli Foreign Ministry referred to AP's inquiries about the case to the Prime Minister's office, which did not respond. The U.S. Department declined to discuss the matter, but said in a statement that it takes any allegation of sexual harassment seriously, and we would expect the court to do the same. The Dutch Foreign Ministry and several lawmakers in the Netherlands have called for an investigation into whether the Israeli embassy have been conducting covert activities against the ICC. It's ironic because Khan himself was originally the guy that America and Israel wanted. They pushed for him. Yeah, the article is here. Fatou Bensouda was personally harassed, by current Mossad director Yossi Cohen, who many people in Israel have told me is like propped up as the guy to replace Benjamin Netanyahu inevitably, for the record. They literally had a secret plot to pressure Fatou Bensouda to drop Palestine investigation. Okay. And not only that, but it wasn't so secret, especially when Benjamin Netanyahu personally went to Donald Trump and said, you should slap some fucking sanctions on Fatou Bensouda, which Donald Trump willingly did. So just remember that, okay? We know what it looks like when you speak out against Israel and Israeli atrocities, even if you're a fucking Twitch streamer, okay? No matter how big or how small, when you get in the fucking crosshairs, there is no depth, there is no end to the fucking well of despair. The shit that people will pull off. No matter how big, no matter how small. Reporting on Ritchie Torres. Speaking of people who go after Israel's enemies, no matter how big or small, Ritchie Torres, who once famously doxed a college professor for teaching about Israel's genocide, who famously last night played a clip completely out of context to say Hassan does not care. This is the largest Twitch streamer. This is Twitch's top earner, top dog, largest Twitch streamer, yada, yada, yada. This is what he's running around saying. A clip that he clipped, of course, out of context. I don't know where the fuck it is. I don't know. I can't see the OG tweet because, unfortunately, I'm blocked by him. So he posted about me behind the block. Okay. He posted it on his Instagram as well. 17-second clip. That's like 10p. That's ridiculous. And not a single person thought, this is weird. I wonder if there's more context to this statement. I wonder if he's like deliberately trying to defame someone. The answer is yes, he was. We went back and we found the actual original clip from the live stream and just played like 1 minute of it. Okay. Right click on the link in Hosprod's tweet above the video. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, here you go. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like, Palestinian resistance is not perfect. The leading streamer on Twitch, Hassan Piker, is an apologist for the sexual violence on October 7. It doesn't matter if the rape happened on October 7. It doesn't change the dynamic for me. Hassan declares before finally admitting that Palestinian resistance is not perfect. The social media influencer openly defends the rape and mass murder of Jews is not only accepted but celebrated in society. There is no point where I have ever accepted that or defended it. As a matter of fact, the clip that he fucking clipped out of context is me talking to a person saying, why don't you deny the rapes? Isn't that wonderful? Here, let's take a look at the longer clip. That's ridiculous. By the way, none of which justifies Israel's actions. So it doesn't even matter. None of this justifies that Palestinians have a right to dignity, a right to emancipation, a right to live fucking free lives, free from this occupation. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. Wow, I wonder why they clipped the beginning. So let's see. That's the other part of this problem that many people can't contend with. Like, the Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not like so good. They have magical bullets, and there's no criminal elements that could have conducted themselves very differently. That doesn't change the dynamic for dude. I need to explain something here. I need to explain something here really quickly. Guys, you are being so fucking stupid. Like, this is a community full of like 30-plus-year-olds, okay? You are literally watching an American elected representative literally defame me. There is intent to defame here by clipping something out of context. And I'm showing you the full context of it. And your reaction to it is, oh my God, 3 Hassans. Oh my God, a reaction within a reaction within a reaction. Please. Laser focus, eyes on the prize here, okay? Dial in. Be fucking serious, all right? Torres isn't saying you denied it. I'm confused. Yes, he's saying I'm justifying it. He's saying he is saying that I think it's good that it happened and that I think that it is fine that it happened. I never said that. My argument here, contextually, is against someone who is claiming no rapes happened. Why are you saying that rapes even happen without evidence? And I'm describing to them that there is evidence, okay? But regardless of that evidence, that still does not change the dynamic of genocide, okay? That still doesn't mean that Israel can go in and destroy all matter of Palestinian lives and livelihood, okay? That does not give Israel the justification to do genocide. Palestinians still have, Palestinians are still human beings, okay? Worthy of dignity. That's the point. It's like me saying, I would never say rape is good, and then someone fucking clipping just the last part of that to say, see, Hassan says rape is good. Like, that's what's going on here. Are you fucking stupid? Can you not understand what's happening here? Anyway. It's great. Good stuff overall. But Hasanabi Productions also goes further and from that same stream shows different parts where I talk about that rapes did happen. There's evidence in terms of firsthand accounts and testimony, so that part is real. Once again, Hassan never denied rapes happening on October 7. He replies a straw man. Future U.S. President Ritchie Torres was commenting on Hassan's claims that rape doesn't matter, not whether or not he's saying if they happened or not. No, dude, I am saying that rapes happening on October 7 does not give Israel the right to genocide the Palestinians. It's very clear what I'm saying, okay? It's wild that you have a elected representative like sitting in fucking Congress 11 days out from the election, okay? And this is what he is like, doing busy work with. What's the counter here? Is what someone should ask Ritchie Torres that like that rapes occurring give Israel the right to genocide Palestinians? Is that what you're saying? It is what he's saying, by the way. I've seen 3 videos of you saying sexual assault did not occur. Is such a funny fucking thing to say when we are currently watching me. Like, I've seen at least 3 videos of you denying sexual violence occurred. Is such a funny fucking lie to tell when it's in front of you. It's in front of you. I'm literally saying you can watch the videos. It is readily available on my fucking YouTube. Anyway, this is something to also remember. Ritchie Torres represents the poorest district in the U.S., but he mentions Israel 236% more than he mentions poverty. It's so wild. The mania in display, the hallucinations in display. Truth does not matter. A lot of these people fancy themselves to be smarter than the fucking Trump hogs, right? They're like, nah, those guys are fucking stupid. They're crazy. They just like deny evidence that's right in front of them. And it's true. They are stupid. But why are you behaving like them? How are you any different than a fucking Trump Republican? How are you any different than a fucking QAnon weirdo if you look in front of your eyes and look at the actual coverage and go, I don't believe you? It's like, just watch, dude. Just watch. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, speaking of Ritchie Torres, here's a scoop from Zeteo. For the last year, far-right and pro-Trump donors have been helping raise six figures for Congressman Ritchie Torres with fundraisers and organizing. One has a history leading a movement designated as a terror organization in Israel and the United States. What Zeteo can exclusively reveal is that Torres has been happy to take money from wealthy businessmen such as Ron Tarosian and Michael Sinensky, who have ties to Donald Trump, the Likud party, and the pro-Israeli far right. Tarosian told Zeteo that according to Torres, he has been his number one fundraiser since October 7. Torres visited these men's homes and was hosted by them at fundraisers while they espoused views that American Jews would be endangered if Harris won, and that Jewish leaders like Senator Schumer was a capo. Ron Tarosian did more than just host Torres for a night on the Upper East Side. He has spent the last year supporting the lawmaker, helping the Democrat launch a new political action committee called Chutzpah PAC, like Chutzpah, and claims to have helped raise over $150,000 for him through a WhatsApp group called Jews for Ritchie Torres. Tarosian's network of New York area associates, including outspoken Trump supporter Michael Sinensky, who urged American Jews to align with neo-Nazis in comments first reported in The Intercept, held multiple fundraisers for Torres to add to his overflowing war chest while they discussed the danger to American Jews of a second Biden term. U.S. troops carried out rape and murder during the occupation of Iraq and were convicted. That still wouldn't give Iraq the right to carry out genocide against the people in the U.S. How stupid are some people? I know, but it doesn't matter. Genuine question, why did these people wait for more than a year to start criticizing you? Your opinion and coverage did not change. Do you think this is a coordinated effort to possibly coming from one source that's trying to deplatform you? I mean, I think that, the opportunity warrants it, I guess. For a lot of people, maybe they just didn't see it before. I don't know. You forget that like most people don't know who the fuck I am. So when it's brought to their attention, they're like, ooh, let's get it going. It's because they see a chance. Yeah, I think like the only thing that changed in this circumstance is that there is a prominent former co-host of mine that like was running this, packaged smear campaign in a very disingenuous fashion with the very same clips that are clipped out of context. And I think that a lot of people saw that there was motion there and tried to expand on it, tried to use it to their advantage. It is what it is. There's not really anything I can do about that. What? Mods, check this guy. Look at his Nazi, straight up Nazi. Mods already banned this guy. Yeah, he's already been clapped. It's just, I like to think of the silver lining. Okay? It sounds weird for me to say this, but I think there is a silver lining to this. And the silver lining to this is simple. Okay? There's not a lot of motion for pro-Israeli sentiment. They've lost the moral argument in its entirety. They've lost control of the dissemination of information. There are far too many people who have independently arrived at the conclusion that what Israel is doing is unconscionable, even if they don't have a proper way of communicating it. Even if they don't think it's a genocide, they still think, yeah, this is fucked up. I don't like it. Okay? So in all of that, it's an entirely online sentiment. What do you mean? The counter propaganda? Or do you mean like the idea that the average American thinks like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up? Because the idea that like, yeah, the pro-Israeli sentiment is not entirely online. It's mostly mainstream outlets, and even mainstream outlets have been like, all right, we've gone a little overboard with this shit. So when you can't defend your position and you keep getting hammered over and over and over again, then what do? if you can't defend your position, then you have to attack people on the other side. That's it. They try to do it with Ta-Nehisi Coates. It doesn't matter. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a liberal media darling, so they can't take him out. So they'll come after people who are easier targets in general because they speak for 10 hours uninterrupted. If you speak for 10 hours uninterrupted, then, you can clip anything out of context in that process. But the silver lining here remains, What is the silver lining here remains. What is the silver lining? The targets are significantly smaller in influence and size. Okay? You can get like a victory here and there when you call the manager of weather.com to try to fucking pull an ad at the New York subway stations because like the woman in the ad is wearing a keffiyeh around her neck. You can call up JetBlue to be like, occupied Palestinian territories. Like, how dare you say Palestine or Palestinian territories? This is anti-Semitic. And you can get that off of the JetBlue map. Okay? The in-flight map. But that's nothing. That is not going to play a significant role in the grand scheme of things. You're not going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the fucking tube. It's out. Okay? That's it. They don't have enough motion. They don't have enough motion to target a broad enough audience, so they just go after people that they can take out. That's it. You only do this when you're fucking desperate. Okay? TV shows cropping out people wearing Palestinian symbols, Palestinian books being taken off Amazon, and now they're deleting Palestinian films. We are witnessing the erasure of Palestinian people and their representation in media. This is an act of desperation. Okay? That's it. Swinging wildly instead of re-examining your opinions, instead of recognizing the humanity of the victims. You're just swinging wildly, utilizing the pre-existing hatred that a lot of people have for Arabs, a lot of people have for Islam in general, using that as an advantage to just like get some kind of leverage over institutions that are too scared and not knowledgeable enough and not led by knowledgeable enough people to take actions in this direction. The reality of the matter is this. All it takes is a person saying, nah, I'm not going to fucking do that. And then they'll move on. But a lot of institutions don't do that. A lot of institutions are too fearful. Last night's episode of Big Brother and Late in Live are now reappearing. They've edited out Ali's pro-Palestine watermelon t-shirt, which was reported to Ofcom, and they wiped out the fucking watermelon. Like, it's just, that's so silly. Like, you're not winning anything there. Like, no one is seeing that and going, oh wow, I'm pro-Palestine now. Like, no, you didn't do anything. I swear to God, if it wasn't for fucking TikTok, like, this shit would be dramatically different, I think. Netflix responds to activists criticizing Palestinian films removal. These licenses have now expired. A coalition led by Freedom Forward called on Netflix to reinstate 19 films by or about Palestinians that were part of a 3-year content licensing deal that has not been renewed. Netflix has responded to the backlash over it removing 19 films by or about Palestinians from the streaming platform in mid-October. In a statement, the streamer said that the Palestinian Stories collection with 32 films was launched in October 2021 as a part of a 3-year licensing deal. Those licenses have now expired. As always, we continue to invest in a wide variety of quality TV films and TV shows to meet our members' needs and celebrate voices from around the world. I mean, I get it. Like, it just, I believe it. We urge you to explain your decision and to reinstate every film about Palestinians that Netflix deleted last week. We are deeply concerned that Netflix's deletion of nearly its entire library of Palestinian films will further marginalize Palestinian voices at a time when over 2 million Palestinians in Gaza are being subjected to genocide by the Israeli military. Letter to Reed Hastings, founder and executive chairman and co-CEO of Greg Peters and Ted Ferrando, stated. After Netflix responded to activist pushback, Sanjeev Berry, executive director of Freedom Forward, in his own statement, criticized the licensing deal being allowed to expire. Why didn't Netflix renew the licensing deal under which it carried these 19 Palestinian films? It's a $300 billion company that can afford to renew the license for the movies and films that it cares about. Palestinians are experiencing extraordinary suffering. Yeah, I don't know if this is like directly because these movies and these films were like actually doing fantastic, and Netflix, like, against all odds, still refused to renew their licenses, specifically because they didn't want to upset like pro-Israeli people or whatever. I don't know if that's the case. I can't make that inference here. it seems like they just did not renew their licenses. I'm not sure if you heard of Israeli who called for the death of all Arabs on TV in Germany. Sorry for the spam. Forgot to add a larger chunk context in my statement. Yeah. Anyway, where were we? We'll get to all of this. Is this a larger realignment than after 9/11? No. It's getting there, but it's not as bad. It is getting there though. But no. I think you see it online a lot more. It's like significantly more insane online, where people have the capacity to be as unhinged as they want to be online. But the reason why it's nowhere near as insane is because there is how do I describe this? There was no opportunity for naysayers. The internet wasn't as diverse and as like and wasn't as like used at the time due to technological limitations in 2001. So there wasn't like other avenues of information. It wasn't as accessible. And also beyond that, it was America that was directly attacked. So, the public sentiment was way more primed for Arab hate and Islamophobia than when Israel is fighting against, Israel, an entirely different foreign nation doing all of this is a little bit different in the eyes of the American population. That's why you have like 54% of Republicans that are like, yeah, I'm fine with the ceasefire. What the fuck's going on here? You see what I mean? Like, there is no world in which the Republican Party post 9/11 would be like, we should do a ceasefire in Afghanistan or Iraq, right? That's not a thing. And mainstream media was, of course, significantly more powerful in terms of influencing people. Back then, they had a complete hold over the American population. There was no other like avenue of independent information unless you went to like forums or some shit. All right, let's see what this new Trump ad is.
Did you watch the news lately? Israel's under attack, anti-Semitism like I never thought I would see.
Did you read about Samantha's boy Max? No, he got spit on just walking that path.
Wait, is this the ad that Felix was talking about when he said these are like definitely Christian women? Is this is the ad that he was talking about? Felix was talking about this ad. He's like, they got like 3 Christian ladies to do like almost like an anti-Semitic voice.
Did you watch the news lately? Israel's under attack, anti-Semitism like I never thought I would see.
Did you read about Samantha's boy Max? No, he got spit on just walking that pen.
I mean, that's scary.
What about Kamala?
Ugh, busy defending the squad.
Ay vey. You know, Trump I never cared for, but at least he'll keep us safe.
I never voted Republican in my life, but I am voting Trump.
Amen. Or JC.
Oh, that's awesome. That's sick. She said, yeah, too busy defending the squad. Oh, that's so sick. This is mint. Great ad, dude. Yeah. We're voting for the guy who was like, I love Adolf Hitler and I want my generals to be like Adolf Hitler, except not kill me or not try to kill me like Adolf Hitler's generals did. Dude, that has been the funniest saga with the Trump said he wants Adolf Hitler generals, has been like watching Republicans try and defend that. Some of them are doing like the clean Vermont theory. Others are just simply saying he was blowing off steam. It's like a very funny situation. You just don't have to report it if you don't feel the need to, but they're still doing it. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff overall happening in the Republican Party. Oh, that's great. Sagar saying that Hitler had amazing generals. Yeah, so amazing. So amazing. Yeah. I just haven't really heard from Ritchie Torres or the ADL about Donald Trump saying he praises Hitler's generals and wants Hitlerian generals. It's just weird. They're too busy, I guess, coming after Frogan for saying that Sabra hummus is shit. Interesting. It's just interesting. I don't know. It just kind of seems to me like that is pretty fucking big in terms of like normalizing anti-Semitism. Like when you have two fucking candidates and one of them is like doing Hitlerian policy, saying he likes Adolf Hitler, repeating Adolf Hitler's own fucking terminology and words, like verbatim, saying immigrants are poisoning the blood of this nation. And also simultaneously being like, I think Hitler's generals were great and they should be like, my generals should be like them. And last but not least, if I lose, Jews are responsible for it. Number 6, why won't you Jews vote for me? I gave you everything about Israel. All of this stuff Donald Trump has done. What's the ADL doing? The leading fucking group that is supposed to be tasked with combating anti-Semitism, trying to take out Twitch streamers, deplatforming Twitch streamers. It feels to me like they're not up to the task. I don't know. I wonder why the ADL doesn't go after Donald Trump. Perhaps, I don't know, Miriam Adelson giving Donald Trump $100 million so that Donald Trump will advocate to fucking annex the West Bank. That could have something to do with it because the ADL is significantly more interested in defending Israel, the Apartheid Defense League, than actually combating anti-Semitism. And the only reason why they act like they want to combat anti-Semitism is so that they can cynically use anti-Semitism as a deflection or as a shield to defend Israel's actions. Trump praises Hitler. ADL remains silent. Did you know that 2 separate stories dropped this week in which former Trump officials said he praised and admired Hitler while in office during his first term? No, it's possible you didn't. It wasn't on the front page of major newspapers. It didn't warrant major cable news segments. The Anti-Defamation League didn't even consider it worthy of a response. To put a finer point on it, the Republican candidate for the presidential election taking place in less than 2 weeks openly praised Hitler, and it was met with a yawn. How do we get here? How is this happening? For background, The Atlantic published a story with details of a disturbing conversation. As his presidency drew to a close, and in the years since, he has become more and more interested in the advantages of dictatorship and the absolute control over the military it believes it would deliver. I need the kind of generals that Hitler had, Trump said in a private conversation in the White House, according to 2 people who heard him say this. An interview with former Chief of Staff John Kelly, published by The Times on Tuesday evening, included this bit. Trump told him that Hitler did some good things. Mr. Kelly confirmed previous reports that on more than one occasion, Mr. Trump spoke positively of Adolf Hitler. He commented more than once that, you know, Hitler did some good things too, Mr. Kelly said. Mr. Trump told him. Mr. Kelly said that Mr. Trump had little appreciation for history. I think he's lacking in that, he said. But said he would still try to explain to Mr. Trump why those comments about Hitler were problematic. The ADL remains silent on Trump reportedly admiring Hitler right as it's revealed that the University of Michigan actively recruited Michigan Attorney General to inordinately punish pro-Palestine students, something Rashida Tlaib was loudly attacked by the ADL for criticizing. So, though the story failed to be a media priority, I figured the ADL, the country's most prominent Jewish nonprofit with a mission of combating anti-Semitism in all forms, would have something to say. Yet when I looked at their website, I saw nothing aside from an announcement of a concert against hate hosted by Ben Stiller and featuring Sia. The social media feed were similarly void of any reference to Trump and Hitler. So on Wednesday afternoon, I reached out with a brief synopsis of Trump's positive comments on Hitler and asked if the ADL had made a comment. More than 24 hours later, silence. I followed up Thursday morning and reached out via multiple social platforms to the organization and its CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt. Still nothing. The ADL's failure to address Trump praising Hitler isn't shocking, given their selective outrage in the past year about which Jews are worthy of defense and the fact that they honored Jared Kushner with an award earlier this year. Greenblatt issued a rare rebuke of Trump in September after the Republican candidate said, if I don't win this election, the Jewish people would really have a lot to do with that if that happens. But other than that, Greenblatt has continually shown his willingness to kowtow to power, whether it be Trump or Elon Musk, and the current silence is galling. Remember when the ADL, again, the largest nonprofit in the United States that is tasked with combating anti-Semitism, looked at what Elon Musk had co-signed on his own social media platform, which is filled to the brim with Nazis, where a user on Twitter said Jews are getting their comeuppance after they did unrestricted immigration from the third world into the Western nations, Western civilization, in an effort to destroy it. Elon Musk's response to that, which, by the way, is one of the most common Nazi statements, like not a dog whistle, straight up Nazi sentiment. That is exactly the same kind of sentiment that led to the worst anti-Semitic hate crime on U.S. soil in recent memory, in the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. The shooter, who was a Trump supporter, by the way, openly said that he was attacking this synagogue because he believed that the Great Replacement was real, something that, of course, Tucker Carlson and many other Republicans have said time and time again, the notion that like immigration is actually being used to undermine the white majority in this country, to make America less white. And also, it was being directed by Jews, okay? The idea that George Soros, this is the more permissible form of this anti-Semitism that people openly say on Fox News, is George Soros, who is Jewish, a Holocaust survivor, is the puppeteer behind unrestricted migration into the United States by black and brown people. Scary stuff. The synagogue shooter in Pittsburgh said those things, said exactly why he was doing this imaginable anti-Semitic hate crime. He said he went into that synagogue and shot the attendees, specifically because, and this was happening in the same time frame when there was another migrant caravan, if you remember, okay, another migrant caravan coming into the United States, which Fox News kept reporting as George Soros's migrant caravan. He went into that synagogue and shot the attendees because he wanted to stop unrestricted immigration that he believed was caused by Jews. Okay? The reason why I brought all of this is because Elon Musk co-signed on that idea less than a year ago. But then the ADL went to Elon Musk and said, you can't say that. Elon Musk then said, my bad, what can I do? The ADL said, be pro-Israel publicly, go to Israel. That's what happened. Elon Musk went to a Holocaust museum, and then he went to Israel, and then he talked about how fucking bad, Hamas is, and yada, yada, yada. And then Jonathan Greenblatt came out and defended Elon Musk. This was so controversial that the former president of the ADL at the time was like, what the fuck are you doing? What the absolute fuck are you doing? This guy literally repeated and co-signed on one of the most dangerous anti-Semitic lies that you can fucking agree to, and you're here defending him? So if you want to understand the Apartheid Defense League's priorities, look no further than that. Okay? That incident perfectly demonstrates what the ADL actually cares about. The ADL does not care about anti-Semitism. The ADL has changed the markers of anti-Semitism and has padded the fucking deck with like real incidents of anti-Semitism and what they claim are incidents of anti-Semitism. Like, for example, when someone graffitis "Free Palestine" on a fucking sidewalk. That is now logged as a real anti-Semitic incident in this country, an anti-Semitic hate crime in this country. Ridiculous. At a time when anti-Semitism is on the fucking rise, real anti-Semitism, not like someone said "Free Palestine" or was wearing a fucking keffiyeh. Okay? Real anti-Semitism is on the rise in this fucking country. At a time when real anti-Semitism is on the rise in this country, to dilute anti-Semitism with like cynical weaponizations of what are in normal circumstances, according to the ADL, like 2 years ago, not considered anti-Semitic incidents is ridiculous. It's not only ridiculous, it's fucking dangerous. It's especially dangerous in a country like the United States of America, where people already have that. Like, people are already primed to be anti-Semitic. Okay? If you conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism at a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise, in an effort to silence critics of Israel, you are going to get people to lean more into anti-Semitism. Okay? People that don't understand this stuff because of their social conditioning, because of their lack of knowledge, lack of interest, are going to be like, well, what the fuck? I guess Jews do control the media. That's inherent. That is anti-Semitic, okay? That is anti-Semitic beliefs that you are supposed to be combating. It's so crazy. It's very, very, very frustrating to experience this shit. It is. Why fixate on the response of one nonprofit organization? Well, because the ADL, with Greenblatt as their public face, has positioned itself as the arbiter of what is and what is not anti-Semitic. Whether you're reading an article, it cites a figure about the number of anti-Semitic incidents in the country. That's likely a stat from the ADL's annual audit. In the wake of the October 7th attacks in Israel, they frequently conflated anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, so much so that Wikipedia editors voted in June to designate the organization as generally unreliable. A generally unreliable source on anti-Semitism, but they're still considered an authority on the wants and needs of American Jews. They're still utilized as the primary resource by mainstream media. This dangerous conflation has led to the unfair persecution of Jews against Israel's mass murder of Palestinians, including a Harvard student who was accused of anti-Semitism for posting protest posters ahead of Yom Kippur. There is no world in which this makes it safer to be Jewish. Greenblatt found the time in the past 2 days to tweet about his loathing for Jewish pro-Palestine students, but didn't have a moment to spare for the single most terrifying thing an American Jew could read, that the potential next president thinks Adolf Hitler was good. It is so goddamn alarming. I do not know how to explain this to people. I feel like a lot of people are just like, they're done. They're like, no, I've already written you off. You're a fucking Hamas sympathizer. You hate Israel. You hate Jews. You this, you that. Okay. I believe the fucking cynical smears despite your fucking endless coverage on all of these issues that I could easily, with one fucking Google search, find out for myself. I have chosen, instead of watching the actual fucking videos, watching your actual commentary on the matter, I've decided that it makes me feel much more comfortable to run with the assumption that you are an anti-Semitic, rape denier, maybe even a Holocaust denier. Who knows? One whole fucking year of this shit. I'm a Muslim whose friend group is made of 99% Jewish people, all of whom are pro-Palestine and got blacklisted from our local synagogue because of it. My friends are now more vulnerable because of this rhetoric, not less. It's terrifying. Yeah. Do you have any good arguments to try to counter the Jews control the world rhetoric that I hear from people falling into anti-Semitism? I really see my family falling more and more into it. Yes. The argument is simple. Jews are not a monolithic force, okay? They are not a monolithic force. They're your fucking neighbors. They're your teachers. They're the guy driving the fucking Uber, okay? And just like every other group, they have a multitude of different wants and interests. They are not a singular force in this country that is motivated by one thing and one thing only, no matter how hard mainstream media and defenders of Israel try to claim that that is the case. Okay? If Jews controlled the world or the media or whatever, why the fuck would anti-Zionist Jews be getting arrested on college campuses? Like, how the fuck does that work? Are they God's chosen people or not? How does this work? This is the other side that is also very damaging. This is the other side of what's so damaging about like silencing anti-Zionist Jews deliberately or tokenizing them, calling them fake Jews or whatever the fuck. You're like, nah, it's monolithic actually. Yeah, the real question is, if the Jews control the world, why has a Jew never been the most powerful person on the planet, aka United States president? Yeah, or a better question, there was a Jew who could have been that guy and they fucking destroyed him. Bernard motherfucking Sanders. Also, I keep forgetting that Jill Stein is Jewish too, but that's besides the point, okay? But like, again, Bernard motherfucking Sanders, dude. Why is it that one of the most prominent anti-Israel critics in American Congress is not only Jewish himself, but literally fucking lived in a kibbutz? Why? Yeah, remember this? Pro-Israel super PAC, pro-Israel Democratic super PAC, remember that in 2020? Takes aim at Bernie Sanders in Iowa. The Democratic majority for Israel. I remember covering this back in the day. I thought it was really funny because I was like, you guys don't understand. Americans are too stupid to think that like a Jewish person could ever be anti-Semitic. Like, Americans don't work that way. Okay? Like, this shit didn't work even a little bit. And it's entirely because Americans, like, you cannot explain to someone in fucking Iowa that a Jewish person could possibly be anti-Semitic, which Bernie is not, obviously. But like, even if, and I'm not saying that like Jews can't be anti-Semitic. Of course they can be. I mean, fucking Rabbi Shmuley exists. Ben Shapiro exists. Okay. Any Jewish person that keeps saying like, oh, you're a bad Jew, you're a capo to fucking Jewish Voice for Peace activists are literally being anti-Semitic. Having said that, good luck explaining that to a white guy in Iowa. Okay. Like they're just like, what? You're telling me this old Jew is anti-Semitic? Okay, shut the fuck up. Is what their response would be.
The most important thing is we have to beat Trump.
We've seen the damage that Trump and the Republican Congress have done.
I doubt if Bernie Sanders can beat Trump.
I like Bernie. I think he has great ideas. But Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa, they're just not going to vote for a socialist.
I do have some concerns about Bernie Sanders' health, considering the fact that he did have a heart attack.
I think it's very important that the Democrats.
This is the ad that they ran. DMFI and all of these other like pro-Israel groups are so funny because they rarely ever hit that on like the angle of like they rarely, these are all staffers by the way, yeah. They rarely ever fucking talk about like Israel because they know that that's not going to actually perform well. It's always some other shit. Oh, they're not electable. They didn't collaborate with Joe Biden hard enough. That's what they did with Jamal Bowman. That's what they did with Cory Bush. It's just like, because they know that if they were to go to fucking Missouri and be like, well, Cory Bush is like not the #1 defender of Israel, and that's really fucked up. Most people will be like, okay, great.
Nominate somebody that can beat Trump.
I don't feel as though Bernie Sanders would do well against Donald Trump.
I just don't think Bernie can beat Trump.
DMFI.
Anyway, remember the anti-Semitic shirt they have for Bernie? Official DNC gift shop gear. Wait, they what? I don't remember this. What the fuck? I don't think Bernie could have beaten Donald Trump is such a silly thing. Bernie would have fucking gutted Donald Trump. Bernie would have eviscerated Donald Trump. Middle East war hits home in Michigan, threatening Slotkin in tight Senate race. Oh no. Slotkin has to say the Shahada, okay? Michael Rapaport is doing apology at gatekeeping, calling Trump Hitler. Wait, what is this? Zionists think the lesson of the Holocaust was the Nazis were uniquely evil and the Holocaust was a unique occurrence when the actual lesson was fascism is extremely seductive and anyone can become a Nazi. Yeah. Let's hear what fucking... Listen, there are Hitlers out there for those with eyes to see, okay? Michael Rapaport is a Hitlerian guy, okay? There is no other way to put it. He is Mr. Adolf himself, okay? So it's not shocking to me that he is going to be running some kind of fucking defense for Donald Trump's Hitler quotes. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump, pig, Donald Trump, call him whatever you want. I've given you gem after gem for years.
Yeah, he's giving gems. Yeah, dude, you really did. You really gemmed it up, dude. Big Donald Trump. That was brilliant when you came up with that. Thank you.
But stop with the Hitler shit. Stop with the Hitler shit. Do not refer to Hitler and the Holocaust, the actual greatest slaughter and actual genocide of the Jewish people ever for attention and political.
Oh, by the way, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, and that is the most anti-Semitic you will ever get me on by serving all of the Hasanabi heads who are Jewish a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour unless they subscribe. That's right. Not that it matters, but Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, you will get a 3-minute ad break. You will get it. It's 20 minutes in the hour. Yeah, I'm fucking up today. Okay, shut up. Also, ideology.shop. If you would like to not use it, if you would like to use your dollars in a different direction, the new election collection is out today at ideology.shop. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Do you remember when AIPAC ousted a Jewish congressperson? Yes, of course. Andy Levin. Yeah, they did. Michigander in her district, both sides are unironically voting on who is more anti-China. The Republican ads are saying Elizabeth is flying in Chinese citizens to work in a Chinese factory. They both say they are taking Chinese money. That's awesome. Just copped a couple t-shirts, gangy. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Anyway, let's finish this Michael Rapaport piece.
Gain. Stop it. That Nazi rally that took place in Madison Square Garden in 1939 was just that, an actual true blue Nazi rally. So are you saying...
Wait, what the fuck? Okay. So you're also cognizant of like Nazi movements in America too. So you understand the American capacity to be on board with Nazi agendas. Like what? Dude, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man? Like what is happening? Trump is having a Madison Square Garden rally tonight, by the way, which is, you know, not the last time there was a fucking Nazi rally at MSG. All right? Not the last time. Not the first time. Probably won't be the last. I'm just saying. That's right. Anytime the Celtics play there, it's the same principle, okay? Fucking got him. New York. It's not tonight. It's on Sunday. Yeah, today's the day of the Joseph Robinette Rogan. How the fuck should someone respond to this stuff as a Jew to family members who are pro-Trump because he's more pro-Israel? Holy moly, dude! There is such a target-rich environment to showcase Donald Trump's like explicit anti-Semitic sentiment. Okay. Him being pro-Israel does not make Jews safe. You can literally tell your parents, hey, remember when he said Nazis that were saying Jews will not replace us were very fine people? Just start the conversation there. You know, that's a good avenue to start this discussion, this discourse. Like, anyone that thinks Donald Trump is good for Jews is fucking insane. I tried. They just say he doesn't mean it. That's crazy. I mean, they might be lost in the sauce, to be fair. Like that was just a starting point. Donald Trump has said unimaginable, unhinged shit, defended Nazis. Donald Trump literally fucking had dinner with a prominent neo-Nazi by the name of Nick Fuentes and Kanye West, who at the time was also praising Adolf Hitler. Okay? Like, what the fuck? It's not even the media comparing Trump to Hitler. Trump literally said he wanted Hitlerian generals. The fuck is... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep, they think Kamala is anti-Semitic for being Palestinian. Wait, what? They think Kamala Harris is Palestinian? Okay, well, your parents are hallucinating. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Sorry, they're fucking gone. At the time, as if Ye stopped. Oh, yeah, that's true. We don't even know. I just don't know what fucking Ye's new manic proposals look like.
Saying that anyone and everyone who shows up at Madison Square Garden for this upcoming Trump rally is a Nazi? That's a Nazi rally? Get the f*** out of here. What kind of rallies are happening on the college campuses in New York City, in Union Square, where they're waving Hamas flags and kissing Yahya Sinwar photos? What kind of rallies are that? Do not mention the Holocaust.
I like that his underlying premise is that, like, you're minimizing the Holocaust if you say that a guy who was the president of the United States of America, whose opinions and ideology closely align with Nazi ideology, who has literally praised Adolf Hitler, okay, on multiple occasions, that is actually unacceptable. However, Hamas is Adolf Hitler. Like, dude, what are you saying? What are you saying? You just, like, what do you mean? Don't call Donald Trump a Nazi. You know who's a fucking Nazi? Yahya Sinwar. Like, what the fuck? They got Palestine flags that they're waving. That's like Nazi flags. Yeah. Yeah, the real Madison Square Garden. Nazi rallies are happening at Columbia campus. It's called the Jewish Voice for Peace. Those are the real Nazi rallies. Those little they, them, non-binary English mages. They're the real Nazis. Don't you dare minimize the Holocaust by saying Donald Trump is like a Nazi, even though he keeps saying he is a Nazi. All right, don't you dare do that. Yes, in war. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Hitler to score political points when you ignore the greatest slaughter of Jews since the actual Holocaust.
Like, I like it. He's just so unaware. He's so unaware of what he's saying. He's just like, it's minimizing the Holocaust to compare Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. It's not minimizing the Holocaust to compare Adolf Hitler to Yahya Sinwar. Like, Donald Trump is literally German, dog. His great-grandpappy probably fucking fought during the Nazi regime and not on the good side, okay? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, yeah.
Which happened on October 7th. All this Hitler talk, all this Holocaust talk, with so little Holocaust studies in schools. Do not bring up Hitler and Nazis when there are 101 hostages. 101 hostages, and you say nothing about them. Cut the shit. Do not use Nazis and Hitler for your agenda when you haven't mentioned the 13 women that are still being held captive today while you're wearing your futurist female t-shirt. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful to the victims and survivors of the Holocaust and to the real-time victims and survivors and the hostages of October 7th. Stop it.
Okay, I gotta say something here, by the way. I saw something here, and this is a direct shot across the bow to fucking Austin show. Look, I'm no big city lawyer, but the Vikings had a fantastic run this year. Okay, so far. And then they posted this statement from the Minnesota Vikings on the 1-year anniversary of the reprehensible Hamas attacks on Israel. And ever since then, their run has stopped. I don't know what happened, but wait, who here watched me fucking talk about how the Lions were gonna fucking rip the Vikings defense? On the Fear M podcast and shocked the world and shocked Austin. Jets also 0-2 after they fired their Lebanese coach for wearing a small flag on his arm. Go after Will too. I know. Detroit till I die, motherfucker. Detroit Rock City, bitch. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, we're done with all this. I did my daily fuck the ADL shit. I was on that. We talked about Washington Post unendorsing or not being able to endorse Kamala Harris because they got the boss call from Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos. Now let's talk about Steve Kornacki.
Director, Washington Bureau Chief Rick Klein with the latest on that. Good morning, Rick.
Yeah, good morning, George. More than 30 million Americans have already voted in this election cycle. That includes more than 2 million people who voted for the first time. Virtually everywhere, we're seeing more likely Democrats voting early than Republicans.
Wait, oh, no, it's not Steve Kornacki.
But the margins are very much smaller than they were in 2020, and it matters a lot across different battleground states. Pennsylvania, for example, in 2020, we saw Democrats make up 72% of early voters at this point. Now it's down to 60%, but that still means that Democrats have banked maybe 400,000 more votes than Republicans, according to our partners at 538. A much different story, though, emerging in Nevada so far. The Democrats have basically no advantage right now. There's still time to make up the numbers, but check this out. In 2020, Republicans were only 33% of early voters. Now it is up to 40%. So in this big state with a big Latino population, a whole lot of union members, some warning signs, at least early on in early voting for Democrats, George.
And Rick, Generals John Kelly, Mark Milley have called Donald Trump a fascist. Kamala Harris agrees, and we have some polling on that.
Yeah, I mean, this has been such a negative campaign that actually both candidates are calling each other fascists. So we asked the question in our new poll with Ipsos, which candidate do you think that label applies to? And we even defined it in asking the question as quote, a political extremist who seeks to act as a dictator. 49%.
Dude, I'm sorry. Are people fucking, like, a question throughout all of this poll watch, election watch coverage that I've conducted? This question keeps coming up for me. Are Americans fucking stupid? And the answer is a resounding yes. Okay? Like, how? First of all, the fact that we have a who is a fascist among registered voters is a question to begin with in America. Not good. Okay? Gonna go out on a limb here and say probably not good for where we are at in this moment in time. Okay? Not a good sign. Okay? Definitely not a good sign. Now, having said that, an even worse sign is the fact that only 49% in these two options has decided that Donald Trump is a fascist. And a wilder one is the 22% that's like, yeah, Kamala Harris is a fascist, but I don't think that they mean it in the way that you would, in the way that I would say that like any American president is like fascist adjacent on a good day. So what's happening here? What's going on? Is it like a Aiden Ross style situation where they're like a fascist ultra analyst? Like Americans are just Aiden Ross coded. They just don't know what it is. So they're kind of confused by the prospect. Like, is that what the fuck is happening here? Or what is it really? It might be time to admit that No Child Left Behind was a mistake. Yeah. I shit you not. I asked one of my Republican neighbors what a fascist is. He said a religious person who fasts. That's cool. That's a cool thing. That's cool. That's good. SNL surprisingly broke down what you've been saying about Gaza. Oh, yeah. He's a Hasanabi head, by the way. for the record. I was talking to him this morning, actually. My goat. SNL got some good pickups this season. Okay, this was one of my favorite pieces of commentary I've seen on SNL in a while. But yeah, he's great. Apparently, they were coming after him in the same vein. Is the hoodie new merch? Yes.
That's almost half the country say that Donald Trump is indeed a fascist. Only 22% say the same thing about Vice President Harris. That poll, by the way, was conducted before those John Kelly comments where he said he is a fascist. And it raises the question.
This is such funny coverage. This poll was, of course, conducted before he said he is a fascist, or John Kelly said he is a fascist.
About how that can be. Well, among those who say that Donald Trump is a fascist, 8% say they're supporting him, they're voting for him anyway. And while that fascist label isn't really sticking on Harris, the idea of her pandering to voters seems to be. 57% of registered voters say that Harris makes proposals just to get votes, not to make policy.
This is also kind of stupid. Like, what do you mean? That's called running in a democratic election. Like, what? God, we are such a fucking stupid country. I swear to God, dude. This person's just pandering to me. It's like, first of all, who the fuck is she pandering to? She's pandering to like a collective total of like 100,000 people across 7 fucking states. Okay, that may or may not even vote for her at the end of it all. And having said that, yeah, like, that's the point. The point is you are supposed to fucking say you're going to do good things so that people vote for you. That's the whole point.
Slightly more than people feel the same way about Donald Trump.
CNN's David Chalian is right there at the wall, which only means one thing. There is a new exclusive poll. David.
Our final national poll of this 2024 race. And what does it show in this stable race? A tied race, dead heat among likely voters. 47% Harris, 47% Trump. It obviously doesn't get closer to that. And I want to show you what this race has looked like over time. It has been remarkably stable. This goes all the way back to when Joe Biden was still running in August of last year. You saw it was a 47-46 race there. You see here, the red line, the Donald Trump line, he's never been behind outside the margin of error, statistically trailing in this race the entire time that we have polled this race. Let's look at it by party ID here, Dana. You see overwhelmingly Democrats are with Harris, as you would expect. Overwhelmingly down here, 92% of Republicans are with Trump. Harris is getting about 7% of Republicans. I know she's making a big play for some of those Trump-resistant Republicans of late we've seen. And look at the independents. It's actually within the margin of error of that subgroup. So there's no real clear leader with independents, but numerically, Harris has this slight higher number there. And we've been talking a lot about the gender gap in this race. It's a little smaller in our poll overall than we've seen in some other polling, but among likely voters, Harris is +6, 50% to 44% with women, and Donald Trump is +6, equally 51% to 45% with men. That is a 12-point gender.
44% with women. How much you want to bet? I want to know what that looks like for white women. I want to know what percentage of white women are voting for Donald Trump at the end of the process, okay? Because obviously, it's like 66% of the entire population is white. So when Donald Trump still has 44% of the women vote, okay, when Donald Trump is still capturing 44% of the women vote, I wonder if he still fucking hits above 50% for white women. I think a lot of women will be voting one way and hiding it for their husbands. I mean, dude, I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting that at all. But I will say this. I will say this much. I think that is a dangerous thing to fantasize. By the way, I have noticed that LSF is still full tilt on the fuck Hassan, let's get him banned train. Congressman calls out Hassan 17 hours ago. Not a single person has mentioned the context. A gay black Democrat. This is the Nakba for Hassan. I'll be surprised if he can contain himself and not send a cigarette emoji at a congressman. Has Hassan ever apologized for that? Has he ever apologized for telling a trans person that he hopes he has a horrible existence? It's like they're running off all the fucking hits. Yeah, dude, I'm transphobic and homophobic. Coming from the Destiny community. That is fucking awesome. Good luck. Are you trying to get LSF watchers to come in and watch me and enjoy my commentary by claiming that I'm a transphobic and homophobic person? Is that what's going on? Yeah. This is literal defamation and legally actionable. No, totally not brigaded, by the way. It's because he's a horrible being in general. This guy's a rich nipple baby who's in blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, please, I promise you your life will be better. Not a single comment mentioning the context, okay? Not a single comment mentioning the context here. They're all just fantasizing. What? What is this? A long thread? Tell me who is obsessively stalking who? What is this? Is this just like psycho fucking DGG fans? Asmongold fans brigading just as much, by the way. Yeah. 2 weeks out from election, and these guys are just like, this is what they care about. Did you see the Canute clip already? No, I did not. But, you know, I don't really care. This is all you need to know about the subreddit. The overlap is shocking. Yeah, it is pretty shocking that the live stream fail overlap is with League of Legends this much. It makes sense as to why they're so fucking angry all the goddamn time. 7% from Asmongold, 14% from Destiny. Jesus Christ. Squared Circle? I don't know what that is. Eclipse GTA. Squared Circle is pro wrestling. Oh, really? They always mention that clip of you telling the trans chatter you hope the rest of their life is bad, blah, blah, blah. Even D shows it. I don't care. I really trust you. There must be an explanation and context. But out of curiosity, what did you mean? Yeah, I was angry at a chatter that was fucking... Oh, God. I can't believe we're doing this again. Catboy's still coming up. Dude, ask the chatter. Ask the chatter. They're in here, okay? Catboy Collector is still a prominent trans beacon in this community. And it was not because they were trans that I was saying this. Okay, we need a Catboy command. Yeah, we do. They're also probably going to harass Wake because he defended you. They were slandering him in the Reddit comments already. Yeah, it's fucking so annoying. The Canute clip was wild. Wake actually calls him out, and then all the comments attack Wake saying you brainwashed him, yet Wake was always far left. Yeah, I brainwashed him. I did do that. Yeah. Canute is not exactly my beacon for the latest and greatest in political commentary. NMP Lol and his mods once did an analysis, found that 90% of the comments on that subreddit are made by the same 40% of total commenters. That's a pretty big number, though. You should keep this Catboy clip
Speaking
saved.
of weird lies to make up, actually, this ties to TwitchCon. It's the exact same community that also constantly says I'm transphobic. Speaking of my transphobia, I have a gift that I got at TwitchCon. I was going to go through all of them, but one of them actually hit home a lot. Here, I'll pull it up right now. You didn't do a good job holding your own against Christian Walker, which I refuse. I think I did a very good job. But, you know, we share some fans. And one of those fans that we share was Catboy Collector. Now, obviously, I should have known better. With a name like Catboy Collector, I should have known that, you know, they were trans, but didn't. But at the time, does anyone have that video of the famous video of me, like, ripping a new asshole into Catboy Collector? Transphobic asshole. You have all my trans friends watching you. So transphobic. Yeah. Basically what happened is during that time when
this is Catboy Collector's own thread on this too, for the record. Not that it matters, because the truth obviously does not matter, but you know, all the way back in 2022, they said they were trans in the comments. You should have known at the time. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. But like, what are you prosecuting here? Like, what are you prosecuting? It's right in front of you. It's been like 4 fucking years. Because people won't shut up about this, Hassan isn't transphobic for saying he hopes my life is terrible. The closest thing to transphobia in his rant was assuming I don't have extensive debate and research experience on trans, which is a reasonable assumption to make about a chatter. But even then, that's just a microaggression that he did based on the fact that he has years of political experience, not because he thinks trans people are stupid. He couldn't have known that I have been exhaustively researching and debating trans issues daily for the last 6 years. I was literally being a piss baby over the fact that a 30-year-old cis man didn't know all the immense lore I do about trans people. Being able to rattle off statistics and evidence from memory as easily as I can isn't a normal standard to hold cis people to, Lomafayal. I wouldn't consider someone transphobic across the board over a fucking accidental microaggression, dude. Everyone is transphobic in that case, but at least Hassan uses a gigantic platform to defend trans people. I even said that in my original, admittedly inflammatory comment. He's been obviously anti-transphobic in literally any other instance he's ever brought up trans people during his time as a leftist commentator. His transphobic rant, in air quotes, was right after he defended trans people for 3 hours straight. Like, cool, he was mean to me when I literally provoked him. Stop trying to make me a victim over something I don't feel victimized for. Hassan is a net positive force for trans people. I genuinely don't care if he was unnecessarily mean to a trans person, me, one single time after a visibly stressful debate about trans people. This is the only statement I'm ever going to make on the issue. It's asinine. And I don't give a fuck about what happened. I'm only bringing it up because people to this day try to use it against him, which is so funny because it's literally transphobic communities that are saying Hassan is transphobic. And throughout this entire process, what has never really made sense is that like the trans percentage of chatters in this community has grown. And there's obviously a reason for that. And that is because not only am I not transphobic, but I also do a pretty good job of converting transphobic people to not be transphobic. So, you know, off kings and queens if you want. You can fucking keep crying about this shit all day, every day. If you want to keep saying I'm transphobic, then, you know, go ahead. It's just not the truth. And it is pretty funny. It will never not be funny that people try to say this kind of shit. It's just a hilarious fucking smear. I don't even think it sticks at all. I don't think anybody actually fucking believes it. I think that they simply act like they believe it to brigade shit to get like random onlookers to believe it. Yeah, their streamer, like Destiny literally was fucking banned for calling trans people subhuman. So I don't really understand what the fuck is going on there from that community. So, but yeah, this will always be a safe space for trans people. It is still an educational space. So, of course, there is going to be microaggressions and whatnot. But it is pretty consistent that my naysayers are almost always not really interested in the truth whatsoever. And how are you always running defense, law? I mean, what do you want me to do? I just mean it's crazy. Also, this was a meme that came from their law. Yeah, do not tell Hassan Piker transgender. Yeah, this was a long running bit. Can you please point out that there's clips of D joking about white people calling black Americans the N-word to go back to their own country when they tilt him? He screams a far-right conspiracy would when he sees Palestinians get slaughtered, actually justifying radicalizing terrorist ideology. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's so much there. I don't want to even talk about that. I don't give a shit. Let's get back to the polls, baby.
Now, this is a national poll, as we have said until we're blue in the face, and we'll continue to say. Remind people that that is not how presidents are chosen. It's by the Electoral College and in battleground states. However, what this poll is telling us is some of the reasons why this race is so close in those battlegrounds as well. What is some of what you're learning behind those numbers?
Right. So lots of people on the Democratic side of the equation say, how could it be possible that it's tied? Why is Harris not running away with this? Well, it's the environment that she's running in. We asked folks your financial situation over the past year. So today compared to a year now, a plurality, nearly half, 49% say they are worse off today financially than they were a year ago. 35% say they're about the same. Only 16% say they're better off. I'll also just say, we have Joe Biden at a low approval rating at 36% in this poll. We have the wrong track number. 7 out of 10 Americans say we're in the wrong direction. Things aren't going well. It's a rough environment if you're running in the incumbent party. So what does that mean then? Why isn't Donald Trump running away with it if that's the environment? Well, here's one issue. Look at Kamala Harris's domination. Issue of abortion and reproductive rights. She is running a 21-point margin ahead of Trump on trust to handle that issue. A little bit protecting democracy is an advantageous category for her. Trump still doing his best on immigration. He's got a 16-point lead over Harris. On the economy, a 13-point lead. And on foreign policy, a 10-point lead. But that abortion and reproductive rights number, that's one of the reasons.
I kept trying to debate my professor the shy Trump voter won't be significant of an effect because they're not as shy anymore, but he kept saying it's still going to impact the election. What do you think? I think your professor is wrong. I don't think that they're shy Trump voters necessarily, but they are Trump voters that might not be getting polled. What does that mean? They're not shy. They're just not from the normal avenues where, I mean, they're not shy. They're low or mid propensity voters. That's it. I think that that is what the real problem here is, which pollsters, in an effort not to repeat 2016, have tried to combat against that by basically fucking weighing the scales by at least 2 points in Trump's direction. Okay? It's not necessarily that they're shy Trump voters, it's that they are low or mid propensity voters that have a likelihood of voting for Donald Trump. Now, the problem with low propensity voters is, are they going to vote or are they not going to vote? That's why there's a lot of conversations around Trump potentially winning the popular vote and still losing the electoral college. If turnout is fucking omega high in Florida, right? Because all of the fucking crypto nuts are just going crazy in Florida or in red states, but his turnout in his conspiracy guys in like Pennsylvania or Michigan or all these other places are not actually coming out to vote, then, you know, he's cooked. He wins the popular vote and then loses the fucking electoral college. I think the country's on the wrong track for many structural reasons that transcend administrations. I'm still voting for Kamala. I honestly don't see this question as a good predictive indicator. Don't think it was in 2012 famously. What do you mean? What is a good indicator? Then the Republican Party may actually want to get rid of the Electoral College. Yeah, that'd be really funny. What outcome is funnier, Trump victory or Kamala victory? I think neither is funny. I think both are shitty outcomes. One is like maybe marginally like putting a pause, and not even necessarily a pause, but just like slowing down the acceleration towards fascism, but like not dramatically. At least you could make the argument that you were putting a pause on the acceleration towards fascism in previous elections, but that's gone now. In terms of like, in terms of what is going on in American foreign policy, that's bipartisan, that's uniparty. It's not going to fucking stop. It's just only going to get worse. But the avenues in which the Democratic Party can like offer some level of protection to marginalized communities is also getting smaller and smaller. They just dropped they dropped immigrants in its entirety. They're like, nah, you guys are done. We're done with you. Oh, you can't call Trump a fascist and they say it's marginally better. I don't know, you don't support her, but Trump is a racist fascist pig and it's a considerable difference. Dog, I call Trump a fascist and I fucking despise Kamala Harris for literally adopting the fascist ideology of the actual fucking fascist. That's my problem. Okay? Time and time again, I have repeated that this argument is not simply just about Gaza, even though that is a valid argument to make, right? You can't even launch an effective attack that Trump is a fascist when you have adopted half of his fucking policies. You cannot launch a significant line of attack that Trump is a fascist when you're doing photo ops with Liz Cheney. This is the issue. This is the real problem. Dick Cheney is worse than Donald Trump, by the way. Like, his impact on the world was worse than Donald Trump. I don't know what Trump will do in his second term, but I know what Dick Cheney did in 2 terms, and what he did was fucking way worse. The Bush administration and its impact on the entire planet, the Bush administration and its impact on the entire planet, the Bush administration and its impact on American domestic politics was far worse than Donald Trump's. This does not make Donald Trump a good person, not even a little bit. I'm just simply saying Dick Cheney is like, you know, modern day Hitler that already existed. Donald Trump, we are worried, is also modern day Hitler. Everyone is Hitler at this point. So yeah, this race is who you hate less. Every American election is who you hate less. Problem that I have with the Democrats in general, and it's kind of funny because like we're currently talking about how much I despise the Republicans, and then you ask me to talk about fucking Democrats, and then of course I'm going to be honest and start shitting on the Democrats. But the problem here is my hatred for the Democratic Party is that they do not launch a real fight against the damage that Republicans contribute to American society. Okay? They don't do it. They're not doing it for one reason or another. They're just simply not doing it. And that's so fucking frustrating to me. I'm like, I'm the one who actually hates Republicans, not you. Okay? You don't hate Republicans. If you're so many Democrats just constantly behave like they actually don't have a problem with the Democrats, Republicans at all. Yeah. I can't believe like Kamala Harris saying like, I like the wall, it's a good policy is so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. I still think Harris wins this, but at some point we should discuss how 2 months of outreach to Republicans produced no benefit whatsoever. All it did was stop her ascent and cap her support at 49%. This is correct. If only there was someone who was yelling about this for months and months and months. Okay? Sorry for the off topic. My brother works for Turning Point USA, unfortunately, and got patted on the back by Vivek. Ew, gross. That hoodie is very cool, Hassan. Where is it from? Oh, it's from my own website, ideology.shop. That's right. Ideology.shop. Thank you for asking, especially at the top of the hour when there's an ad break coming, which is ideology.shop. You can go and also purchase your own politician's hoodie there. That's right. Union made in the United States of America. Okay? This is the election collection out now. And maybe if you hit the double Monty, if you get lucky enough to not see the ad, but don't have a Twitch Prime, don't have $6, you can get gifted a sub to avoid the ad breaks at the top of the hour. Here it is. Why are you holding a gun to your own head? What? I'm not. What are you talking about? Oh, here. That's funny. Israel's having a post 9/11 moment with France. What? What is this? Following Macron's call not to transfer to Israel's weapons intended for the war in Gaza, Deputy Mayor of Haifa, Israel Savian, sent a letter to Yonah Yahav in which called to change the name of Paris Square in Haifa to October 7th Square. Oh, they're doing the Freedom Fries shit. That's so funny. Christian 821, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Anyway, are you ready for a dose of Harris doomerism? Sure. Michael from Pennsylvania, hit my line on the DMs. All right. Okay. Hello. Michael from Pennsylvania, also known as Central_Committee. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I have my camera on if you want.
Yeah. Wait.
What's up, man?
No, I'm gonna pop it open. Don't worry.
Beautiful.
I'm just trying to
Everyone
make
can
it.
see my beautiful face.
Okay. All right. What's happening?
Well, you know, I think I'm in the dissenting seat for this community, and for the people who've been on here before.
Not
But
really. I think
Harris-
there's a lot of people in my community that think like
Okay.
Trump is definitely a lock. I would say more people probably in this community think Trump is a lock than even myself. I have brought forward people to make a convincing case as to why Kamala Harris still has a shot. I still think there is a likelihood that Kamala Harris will win, but that likelihood is so fucking small now that it's a massive toss up. Like I'm not talking about like the way that the media has covered this issue. I just wanted to hear like the most doomer analysis from you as someone who is in Pennsylvania, who has worked in Pennsylvania local politics. Like I think I value your analysis, especially on that front. And, you know, I have brought forward a broad variety of different opinions on the matter, but I want to hear what your argument is as to why Kamala Harris is going to get fucking absolutely cooked.
Well, the first thing that I would say is it's a combination of a lot of factors. Is like one of the like theories that I've been pushing for like most of my political career is that like all politics is national now. Like our local politics is becoming less and less and less relevant, and states are starting to look more like each other, especially those that are close to them. And the thing about Pennsylvania is, and this is also similar in Nevada, where basically what we're seeing so far, and I think early voting is like the realm of charlatans, like the people that talk about early voting and like, oh, we know this is going to happen because of this. You don't really know what the contents of the vote are. At the most, you have like registration and whatnot. But one thing we can look at is people of a certain registration and what their propensity to vote is, and which group of people have been showing up at higher rates than others. And the reason why I'm very doomer on Harris is we've seen like A lot of like evidence is that the turnout among low propensity Democrats is way down, and the turnout among low propensity Republicans is up in a similar to like 2020, except we don't have the COVID mail-in ballot like a turnout boost. So that we're seeing a differential turnout for the Republican leaners are higher than the Democratic leaners. This is very true in like Nevada. I think Republicans have an outright turnout advantage, which they did not have in 2020.
Yeah.
Like they're up by a lot. In Pennsylvania, I think we have like the Democrats up by like around 300,000 net, and they need to be at least 500,000 like to win statewide. So she's way behind like she needs to be. And then also like with Pennsylvania registration, there's been a continual like shift of people from Democrat to Republican, like a significant number more. I think it's like 80,000 more people registered Republican than Democrat over the last year. It might even be more. I'd have to look it up again. But that's kind of my main thrust is like, and it kind of tracks with my own vibes, which is why I kind of lend it a little bit of credence, which is it's 2 weeks before the election. What am I doing? Like, what is the internet political discussion? It's not people like all unifying around Harris. Like it was in 2020. I don't know about, I don't know if you guys remember back then, but like my community and your community, we were all kind of like pushing for Biden. Like we were saying, you know,
no, I voted for Joseph, Robin, and Brandon.
And we were like, yeah, vote for him. We got to get Trump out of there. And we were laughing over Trump getting sick from COVID a week before the election and being like, look at this idiot. You know, when he did that stupid mask ripoff and he looked really weak and everybody was like, you know, he had to get helicoptered to, you know, like just the whole vibe was a lot different than now, which is we're engaged in infighting. Like the left of the party is under attack. It's a vote shaming thing. It's worse than 2016. There's a lot of young people that are not seeing anything like about Gaza to give them any hope. As far as like she's campaigning with the Cheneys, you know, like the progressive wing has been completely abandoned. I think you saw that Nation article from the interns at the Nation.
Yeah.
I don't think that is just a bubble. I think that is a sense that's like out there that, you know,
so
vote for her because of the genocide.
Are you ready for this? Like I think that, not to get all Nate Cohn over here, but I think that if like what I'm looking at right now is what the Democratic Party has very openly communicated. They're saying they have a pathway to victory that does not revolve around people who care about American foreign policy, people who care about Israel and Gaza, and young voters that they are relying on. They believe that those are firmly planted, that like there is going to be enough turnout from the youth vote that makes up for, you know, the Philadelphia, like there's going to be enough black and brown and young Philadelphians that are voting in urban areas. And then that the real problem here is to just like decouple former Republicans or never Trump Republicans away from Donald Trump, just get them to go out and vote. It's very clear that we both agree that that's their strategy, right? Like that's precisely what they're doing. They are gambling with their regular constituencies and their propensity to turn out because they are taking it for granted and they are hyper focusing on a couple key targeted swing districts, a couple key suburbs, basically, where there are college educated white voters who have either, logged themselves as independents and have fucking voted for Donald Trump twice or at least once. And they are trying to get those guys to come out and vote for the Democratic Party. Now,
yeah, I just think that has absolutely no chance of working because, like, I think a lot of people take large swaths of the electorate for granted, and that's not how people operate. I have this. This is something I showed before. But I just popping it on my camera real quick.
Yeah.
But basically, tell me how interested you are in this election using scale 1 to 10. This is the lowest it's been for black voters and young voters, like going back to 2004.
Oh, no, I remember looking at this data as well. Yes, this is very, very important. I totally agree with you.
Disastrous for the Democrats. Like, there's really no way to make that up with like swinging somebody who's a like suburban voter. And there's been $200 million spent in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so that's
this election cycle, and the numbers are bad. Like they're not. She's like behind. She's well behind like previous Democratic candidates at this point in the race.
So that's the real problem here that I have been screaming about for months at this point, is that like obviously the message that you are presenting is unsuccessful if you've dumped $200 million into communicating that message in every fucking ad possible, and the polls have not even shifted, right? Or worse, shifted in Trump's favor. So clearly the message isn't working. Now, of course, they're too fucking late at this point. It's too late for them to just like all of a sudden communicate a very different message. And I think that like ultimately it's leaving it on it's a coin toss. Like it's leaving it up to a very dangerous gamble that like Philadelphia urban voters are going to turn out no matter what, because they're worried about Roe v. Wade. They're worried about like Trump being a fascist, and they're going to do the lesser evil voting. They're going to do the harm reduction voting in enough numbers that they can fucking cling on to a couple of these suburban voters, which, by the way, polls have shown that method is unsuccessful. That's the craziest part about this. I guess like in general polls, it shows that Kamala Harris is leading on Biden in terms of like white college educated voters. I have seen that. Like, she has maintained a strong presence in white college educated voters. It just matters. It's entirely dependent on where those white college educated voters are. If they're not in Pennsylvania, she's fucking cooked. Because
I think the thing for me is like, first of all, she hasn't given people a reason to believe she should be trusted with the presidency. Like at the end of the day, they reject Joe Biden, and her mission should have been show a vision for the country that would have been different than Joe Biden, a change election. And the reason why that was necessary is there was a Franklin and Marshall poll that just came out. I can link it to you if you want. But basically it goes through all this stuff. This is in Pennsylvania, and it's disastrous. It's fucking disastrous. Like
is it the legislative session? Shapiro insults protesters? No.
Here, I linked it to you. I linked it in chat.
No, link it in the Discord chat.
Oh yeah, that's old as fuck. Here, I'll link it to you.
I got it. I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
Dear readers, I'm okay.
If you scroll down, and the thing that really shocks me is the last time Pennsylvania residents thought their finances had been better than 1 year ago was October 2020.
Yeah, I see that.
So basically, for the entire time Biden has been president, people have been saying, no, my finances are worse off than a year ago. And like that, you can't ignore that. And like Kamala Harris did. And she just basically said, I wouldn't have done anything different than Biden. And that's the message people got. And as that's the message has gotten out, her momentum ended. It stalled completely.
Do you think, and this is crazy because like voters originally said that they weren't going to punish Kamala with Biden's economy.
She hugged him.
She had a blank slate when the swap out first occurred, which was crazy. It was like, I remember looking at polls being like, that's what a gift. What a gift to the Kamala Harris campaign.
This is something like when she first dropped out, I know you and I were like completely open to her. And I feel like that was a sign, we were representative in our communities of like the larger youth progressive wing of the parties, where we were like, okay. And then when Walz was picked, we were like, okay. And like we were all chomping at the bit, ready to, jump on, become K-hivers. And the reality is, she went into the DNC. She made that disastrous right-wing speech. Ezra Klein of the New York Times, he did an analysis of it, and he said it was the most right-wing Democratic nomination speech he'd ever heard.
Yeah.
And it was. And that's when the momentum stopped. And all the momentum she was seeing, all the movement in the polls that got her ahead of Trump was young people, was, progressives coming home, was, and a lot of people think of this like ideology in a totally wrong way. They think of like, if somebody says they're moderate, it means they're a neoliberal centrist. And that's not what it is. It's more of a statement of your own like persona or your own like feelings about like
time and time again, ballot measures. Time and time again, ballot measures have consistently proven that the most popular thing in the heartland, in the Midwest, in the Sun Belt, no matter where you go, is a lifeless, faceless, progressive ballot measure not associated with a Democrat directly. Americans love voting for instituting full-blown communism in the form of a progressive ballot measure, but fucking despise the Democrats or despise the Republicans as well, depending on where you're looking at. So yes, the idea that like the average independent moderate who fancies themselves to be in directly the center of all of these issues is a silly one. And ironically enough, that's why I was excited about the Tim Walz prospect, because I thought that that would actually force the Democratic Party's hand into putting forward or at least defending a progressive message, because
Right.
Tim Walz, with a one-person majority in the state Senate in Minnesota, actually signed into law many of these measures that were considered radical by the Republican Party and maybe even radical by some in the Democratic coalition.
Damn, this guy's good.